Hi, we're The Way the Leaf. Welcome back. We are talking about Amazon's Wheel of Time series. We are on season 3, episode 2. This is our non-book reader series we are doing. We have Lady Kathryn back with us. Hello.
Yay!
Amazing G-Mama. Hello. And I see that you both wore your best Moraine walking hats, which is perfect. I love it.
Very sensible, very sensible.
Episode 2 is called A Question of Crimson. It is written by Kate McKenna, directed by Kieran Donnelly. This is the second episode. We have a previously on, then it goes into a 20 years ago flashback. We get to see the Andor royal family, or at least most of them. You see Elaine is in utero. We see the raising of Queen Morghese to the Lion Throne.
I found that sequence or that episode right there very Game of Thrones.
Very, yes. I did as well. They all had their sigils behind them. It was even that little girl resembled the little girl in the north. I can't remember what family she was with. I thought the same thing.
He's in The Last of Us. Yeah. It was very Game of Thrones-ish to me.
This does look like Cersei. And, I mean, when you look at the Lannisters are red, they have lions, they have all this stuff. In all fairness, Wheel of Time did it first. This was all book canon. So to have the red color scheme, to have the lions, to have the blonde hair, this is all canonical. So it may be very similar, but I don't think it's copying.
I think just showing that, we'll always reference other fantasy works and right. And so I think just that, but I felt the same, and I'm obviously more familiar with Game of Thrones, having seen that first, but I felt the same.
Morghese comes into power like a wrecking ball, says Miley Cyrus. She demands fealty and says, yeah, but that's not good enough. I don't trust you. Kills everyone who had opposed her ascension.
All women, by the way. So it was all women, right? So she's the queen. So she's ascends to the throne. She said that it was the Succession War, and she won. I won because I'm now queen because I beat you all. But each of the four families, it was the woman that fled, their allegiance.
They're all matriarchy, not patriarchy.
Yeah.
Their armies and support. I think it was, you have the support of my house and my armies.
So I just found that very interesting, right? With obviously the theme of women in leadership throughout this whole series, and the women have the good power and men don't. That very noticeable to me that it was the women that were leading their allegiance, and then the men killed them.
Yeah.
Their men, right? The men from each family that was right behind them.
What do you think of the throne? We see a throne that is flanked by 2 golden lions.
That was pretty dang cool. I liked it.
Right on.
The women lions, right?
The lady lions, yeah.
Lady lions. So also
no manes.
Right.
Yeah, and that I guess she was greeting her other children.
Yeah, who we meet later, right? So it was the 2 boys.
Yeah. So I didn't know who those 2 kids were. And then she's talking about having her daughter. I'm like, okay. But then I guess it is a matriarchy, so, the boys don't count.
We do meet this family later. This is what happens after the credits. And again, we have, on both of these 2 episodes, we had the quick Wheel of Time intro.
Right.
Just the little swirl. We don't get the full one until the 3rd episode. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they do that last season too? They held it off for a couple.
Yeah, they held it off for a couple episodes. Yeah, it is an interesting. I do kind of wonder why shows do that, make that choice to. But it was another one where that cold open was like, all right, that was kind of a big thing. These people come in, slicing throats at minute 2.
Yeah, they're starting out these 2 episodes with a pretty big bang, let's say.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is shocking. And Morghese did order the murder of a child right in front of her.
Yeah.
This little girl wasn't 18.
Nope.
And she has an advisor that is a Aes Sedai. Right? So standing right next to her is this advisor. that
A
we
red
a
Aes
red
Sedai.
Aja.
I think you should kill them all.
All right, and then so we get the opening credit, and then the first scene is Elaine scrubbing floors, and then she happens upon Varen and Leanne talking. She runs back into her room, tries to hide, and Varen comes in and says, "Why do you think your mother is here?" And she's like, "I have no idea."
She's all, my mom's here? What?
And then we see the procession of the Andorran royals.
Freaking costumes again. Goodness. Can we talk about these costumes? That freaking Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts. Like,
The Queen of Hearts,
Oh,
yes.
No. I wrote it down as Queen has dynasty shoulder pads.
But yeah, once you say Queen of Hearts, it's hard to like not see it.
Look at the boys right here, the lion across
look
their
at that.
chest.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I did not notice that before. That is really cool.
The procession comes in. We meet Galad, who is on the right there. We meet Gawain, who is on the left. And we meet not only the queen, but her consort, Lord Gabriel, who are in the back there.
Prince
A lot of
Consort.
G's.
A lot of G's. I know, I noticed that too.
Leanne makes him wait. Makes him wait for a good minute or so. They were just standing by the door. And just,
Yeah, and it was kind of funny because inside she was also just like,
she's like, well.
you can't
All
just
right,
kind
I'm
of
in a
yeah,
hurry.
just need to give him a little bit of time.
Just petty.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
know what? You can't not be petty. Come on.
There is history here. The Amerlin doesn't seem so fond of Elida, and the Elida shares the sentiments, it seems like. She gives her just the briefest of little bows. We hear later that Elida may have been the contender for the Amerlin seat before Swan got it. And she is back. She is back. Bum, bum, bum.
We also learn that Queen Morghese is an Aes Sedai, or has the
Or
ring,
had attended. Yeah.
which I thought was interesting. And then I think we might have heard that before. I just didn't remember. And obviously Elaine is there, right? So Elaine is going to be, obviously is the heir apparent. So and is going to be an Aes Sedai too. So I guess there was a precedent.
Just amazing right here. This is a painting.
Yeah.
So
It
great.
is. It is.
The queen is upset. She knows that something has been up with Elaine. She's like, where's my daughter? I need to see her now. She's like, hey, don't worry about it. I'll take you to see her myself. And in the meantime, Elaine has met up with her brother. She's in the room. She sees them, gives them hugs, gives Gawain a big hug, gives Gabriel a nice hug, gives Galad you're an okay guy
Handshake,
hug.
like,
Yeah, you ain't bad. She's like, hey, now that you're here, we can all stay because you're gonna train as warders, right?
Talk to mom.
Yeah, you better talk to mom.
Where's the dad? Because I haven't seen him in anything yet. Is he
No,
alive?
and I was going to mention that too. That even right at the very first scene, there was
No.
the dad.
No dad.
wasn't there. So I'm assuming he's out of the picture, dead
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know how, but he's dead.
He was speared by a shoulder blade.
Yeah. He went in for a hug.
Poked your eye out.
We learn that although the queen wears a great serpent ring, it's pretty honorary.
Yeah.
She never went through the accepted test, and she tells Elaine, she's like, you know what? Things around here are a bit wacky. I don't like the vibe here. You're coming home with me tomorrow.
Well,
Elaine's, go.
Well, and we learned too, right? So she knows. She's like, okay, so you got kidnapped. Like something happened. Like she knows that I don't know if she knows that she was in Falm or not, but she's like, she knows that happened. But then she doesn't know about the Black Aja, and nobody's telling. And Elaine didn't even share that information, right? So they're trying to keep that on the down low.
But we see her like observing like the damage in the hall. Like you kind of see her look up, and there's like little scars in the pillars.
Yeah,
so
but
she's
every
like
time we
sussing
see
it
her-
out.
Oh, for sure. She's like, what happened? And when Elaine said she wasn't gonna tell her, she's like, oh, okay. Like even you're not telling. So she knows something happened.
we get them walking, which is nice. We get to actually see traveling happen. Avienda, Rand.
Oh, them walking. Oh, this is
We're
where,
using her.
this is where clearly, so I was saying, I was actually happened to be out picking tomatoes just right before we came to record. So it just so happened, I think that.
Hey guys, you know that Moraine's like, Rand, put on sunscreen now.
You're Ginge.
Yeah, seriously.
You're a ginger. Rand, you'll burn.
This was like,
Everyone else just has the nice, like, draped, like, thin, gauzy thing, and that's clearly enough to keep them off the out of the sun. But Maureen, I guess, just packs a.
See?
Her satchel is like she's that's where she's collecting her tomatoes,
Okay, and do you notice she's not wearing blue?
and she's not
She's
wearing
in
blue,
blue.
and she was in purple in Tarvalon.
Angelina Jolie wears the exact same thing when she visits her vineyard.
yeah, she's going full Amish. All right, so
It's that country chic.
yeah, but then well, this is actually kind of interesting right here. We get to see after this, we see Aaron and Loyal and Bane and Chiad. Let's talk about the gateway. Like, very different than what happened with Maureen. Did you notice that?
Is
Well,
it just
they were using it to travel, and Loyal even mentioned he's like, this is way easier than like using that one power or whatever, or like
no? The other one had nothing through it. This one had like an ivy thing, and he put a little one of those little falling leaves on it, and then it sealed,
kind of like hid it or whatever.
Yeah,
But they stepped out of there. You see the purple lightning. But they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, we're a minute.
Yeah, they kind of like before it was so traumatic, right? When they were in there and like what happened. So I just figured they figured it out.
So did Nynaeve destroy Mushin? Remember, like she went no and blew up, like they all ran away.
Maybe.
didn't even think about it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or they. Yeah. I just figured they've mastered it. They just know what they're doing now and what to avoid. It's like the
Fire swamp.
Fire swamp, exactly. There's no.
Yeah, but who was that? Who went through there? It was
Aaron, Loyal, Bane, and Chiad, the two.
right. So it wasn't Moraine. It wasn't any of the Aes Sedai. So maybe they
It
did
wasn't
not.
anyone who can channel.
It called attention and
Right.
have people.
Yeah.
Just wanna ease on down the ways.
Right.
All right,
They
well-
didn't have any issues because they didn't. Because they're not anyone the way it should.
They're not powerful enough to awaken the spirits.
All right, so after they get out of the ways, Loyal gives a little info dump, talks about the longing and the steading and how if you're away from the steading for too long,
You
you
get
basically
sick.
wither away and die.
So what is that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I will
I
not
didn't
answer.
know he was about away from the woods, away from the water, away from the book.
His home, like I think they talked before about a steading is where Ogiers live, or what they
Right?
Like,
Isn't that like where the books are and all that stuff? Or I thought they first lived in the forest, and then they built in the library. They became builders.
Yeah.
So he's by buildings. Where is the steading that he would be so far away from?
That I don't know. That I don't know where exactly it is. It's just the idea that if he's away from it too long, he'll.
Yeah, we hadn't heard so much about that. But he's obviously not there now. There's
Right,
concerns
he's
that he
too
may
full.
start to get sick, I guess.
Yeah, it's maybe a little foreshadowing that like if he doesn't get back to one soon, that he might start getting sick. That's kind of what I got from it. Is like, okay, you're warning me.
Yeah, but I don't know
He
where he
got
needs to go back. All
I
of
feel
them.
like he got a haircut. Perrin didn't get a haircut. Perrin's got a
No,
glorious.
he got all of his hairs cut. Perrin
Fantastic.
grew his out.
Yeah.
No, and a dye. He used to be like kind of like Carrot Toppy. He used to have like blonde, very blondish hair.
Yeah,
now it's
like
very
lighter, right? Yeah, they got all the color. He got all the color.
maybe the longing darkens your hair.
His hair's
I've
a
been
mood
longing
ring.
He just
for
got a
chocolates.
really bad highlight job done, and that's why he's like, I gotta cut all those.
I'm longing for my old hair.
One, really handsome, but the arrogant one. Like she really was happy to see one. She was really happy to see her mom's boyfriend. They obviously have a really good relationship, and then Galad was the one who was much more aloof. And they're
I
like,
kind of. What do you guys think? What did you think of Gabriel?
I really liked him. He was. I mean, they seem to have a really nice relationship together, and I mean, they're drinking together a little bit later. So he was very personable.
It's like he balanced out. He knew how to deal with powerful women and just kind of
He'd been in the family for a while.
It seemed that way. She greeted him warmly, and Swan knew him and gave him a nice hug, or not a hug, but said, "Didn't Leanne mess up his name?" And she's like, "No, it's Gabriel." She
said the prince. She didn't mess up his name. She either paused or stumbled or there was something kind of very noticeable that she did when she was introducing him. She hesitated. So it did seem like either she forgot his name or there was maybe she doesn't approve of this prince consort, this living in sin.
All right, so after that meeting and we get some sort of little backstory. Look, you get to see the dynamics. All right, here's the Elages.
They can't do anything for him, and they even say they're really no good with mental illness. One of them said that she's mental illness is always isn't so they can heal physical visible wounds, but not mental.
So do you think what's going on with Matt is a mental illness?
Well, it's not he doesn't have a wound that they can heal. He doesn't have a fever that they can heal. What it is I mean, he has these memories and dreams and can now speak the old tongue and doesn't even know when he's doing it. So it's something going on in a mental state.
It's definitely mental.
I think it's the power of the horn.
Does this happen to every horn blower?
I don't know. Every time I've blown a horn, I've never spoken it.
You blow it with your old tongue. I've seen that thing.
I never got any complaints.
I've seen. Oh no. Oh yes.
I've seen that thing.
Okay, but I think that he's when he blew it, he went back and he's reliving all of the trauma and the other fights in the past, and he is getting that from all of them, and that's what he's hearing and seeing or feeling, and that's why he can't sleep, because he's got PTSD from all of the
all the other heroes of the horn, right? So he blew it and all these other people showed up, so there's definitely magic to the horn, and then there's a connection that he has with.
Is that what he's remembering? All the heroes?
I think so. All the fights, or that he's real schizo. But I think it's that.
Yeah, I think he has memories of something, but it does seem it's more traumatic than. I mean, so I guess it's more traumatic than them winning, being a hero and winning any battle. It seems more.
But for them to be there, they all had to die. So maybe he's going through that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Their memories and their memory of either battles or death.
Yeah.
Does he talk about memories or just noises?
He's just talking about noises. I don't know that he knows that they're memories or what it is. It's cacophonous in his head, and he can't sleep. Screaming.
Yeah. I don't think he's assimilated what it is, but I think from what it sounded like to me, it sounded like a big battle.
He's really affected. He is not sleeping. He reaches out to Nynaeve, which is Nynaeve was the person who would hit him with a broom as a kid and stuff. He's really vulnerable here, saying, "Please, I need help."
I love that. I almost teared up at that moment. That was amazing.
Yeah. And she's like, "I'll do what I can, but I don't know, man. But I'll do what I can."
Yep. The Swan's like, "I guarantee Elaine is safer here than anywhere else in the world." That whole exchange happens, but once Margase meets with Elaine, she's like, shit's going down. I'm getting you out of here. We're going to helicopter you out.
By asking her to leave, I don't think she realizes who her daughter is anymore. I think what she's been through in the last last season has changed her to stand up.
She just made love to an IL woman.
Right.
She's
Yeah,
grown.
I wonder if she ever knew who her daughter was, because her daughter got there, right? And she has, like, she was able to kind of do a little bit of channeling in the beginning, and I feel like she wants to be an Aes Sedai. Like, she doesn't she doesn't want this just to be, you know, the ceremonial. Like, she likes what she's doing, and you know, I don't know that she knows the kingdom is important too, but
Have you noticed or said anything if they're related to the Rand's Ginger family?
they haven't said it. Somebody referenced, like, oh, you could be, you know, but
Right,
but,
because she was signing.
Right.
They're going to have mistaken you.
Right.
But I think she's got to have some genes in there. It
I mean,
seems like
right? They've referenced that, like, the only people with red hair are Aiel, which is why Rand, like, they've said that to Rand. So, yeah, I agree. But I think that was the first time that they referenced it. And I can't remember exactly who it was that said it. Was Bane or Chad, I think, said something about her referencing her appearance.
I thought that was her girlfriend or to-be girlfriend.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
before, because she said, because she was signing to her. She goes, they're going to mistaken you for one of them.
And then she's like, here, carry my apples.
What do you think of these apples?
Yeah, you like them apples. I got her number.
All right, so Queen Margace is like, whatever, you're dues to Andor.
Will she do anything for Elaine, or will she do anything for Andor? Because I don't know if Elaine's that important to her.
I think
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah, well,
I think
I got the impression was that she was. I mean, because she did say that at the very beginning, and she even said that to Swan, like, you don't
know what a mother goes through, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a daughter, you don't know what it is. So I think she is very motherly towards her daughter. I don't know that she's as motherly towards her sons. I haven't necessarily seen that. But to your point, I think it can be twofold, right? As a mother to a daughter, but also knowing that she's the heir. So it's even more important that she protect her and make sure that she be ready to.
Well, Grace, much like Morgaze, you and I are very judgmental and dismissive to older women that don't have kids. We're like, oh well, you don't know what it's like.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
Just
you know what? You just stay in your lane.
Tisk. We have the epic training sequence. Lan is hard on Rand, but also, please, hey, talk to me. Open up.
Hey, you okay? Yeah, it's like therapy training.
He's like a judo therapist.
Rand,
They did parting the
Rand
silk,
is
right?
hard on Rand. Sorry. Yeah, well, he's gonna come across some. I'm sure he's gonna have some tests coming up that are not gonna be what he's expecting.
Well, they're challenging a little bit. They're saying, why are you even dealing with the sword? First of all, the Aiel don't like swords at all. They're like, you can't cook them. You can't hunt with a sword. You don't catch rabbit with a sword. But also, they're saying, you're not. And Maureen's like, why are you doing this with the sword? You're not going to be fighting with the sword at all. You're going to be using the power. And she thinks that he's scared of it. But he says that Lan listens to him. And that's kind of one of the appeals to this whole train. He says, Lan listens.
Implying that Maureen doesn't, that when she's trying to teach him and help him with the one power, that it's a one-way relationship. She's just making sure he does what she tells him to, whereas with Lan, he has some. I thought it was interesting, and I think I mentioned this maybe last time, that they have very similar but different prophecies. The different kind of groups, right? So Loyal was talking about kind of prophecies, and they know that about the Dragon Reborn, and then this is just a different people, and they have a different prophecy, but a lot of it is very similar. More nuance in this one. So I found it interesting that kind of there were competing prophecies.
I didn't understand. I understand the fact that some people need to die so that others can live. But I don't know if they're saying basically you're going to wipe most of us out and some will live, or I don't know. I don't understand. But I guess we'll have to see.
Like Harry Potter.
The remnant of a remnant, the Karkarn shall save.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing. A remnant of a remnant, I didn't quite get, but it was a little bit of like, to me, kind of almost destroying the world as we know it, and then continue on.
And then we have Perrin heading to the Two Rivers.
I liked that, like, I mean, just when they're in the Two Rivers, it's green and lush, and when they're in the waste, it's all, it is barren, or in the Isle, whatever, it's very barren. And Tarvalon, it's the town, so it's like, you cut to a shot and you're like, okay, I know who we're gonna see here. Though I feel like they're all taking the absolute hardest paths from wherever. There's got to be an easier way to get from that Waygate to Two Rivers, because they're like on top of a mountain.
Isn't the Two Rivers on top of them though?
I don't know, but it didn't seem like it was going to be that easy for them to get from where they were to a town.
You're right. Then they might like do some fun rolls, like barrel rolls down the hills.
The air is awesome.
With those swords hanging out the back.
Right. They'd be like a Katamari. The air there is delicious. It smells great. It tastes great.
Yeah.
It's just a.
Is it less filling?
And too many trees, according to Bane and Perchiad.
And too much water. Yeah.
All right. So then they make it into the Two Rivers.
And I think casting-wise, they did a great job, right? Because Egwin's mom approaches them, and I feel like they resemble each other a lot. I feel like Elaine resembles Morgaze a lot. I mean, I was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, I like that as well. That does look a lot like Egwin. There are White Cloaks in town.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Looking for Perrin.
Everyone's because he killed the White Cloak.
Mm-hmm.
That was Dad.
Yeah. But so and she was all concerned, right? She's like, they're looking for you. We need to hide you with the others. And they're like, the others? What others are here?
Mm-hmm. She's like, don't worry about me. I'm no snitch. I'm no halfway crook. Come on, you're with me. I'm gonna hide you from the man. Yeah. So the attic is the hiding spot, and there's Alana and Maxim, and a cool window.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to tell you,
the makeup that she had that she later.
I didn't recognize her. She looks so different.
She looks very different.
She looks great, but she just looks so different.
Yeah.
She is in mourning, and apparently in the morning they add ash and clay to their face, and they never wash it off. It just becomes a part of them or flakes off, one of the two.
Mm-hmm. And she's there looking for Perrin too.
All right, so this line's great. The wheel really does weave as it wills.
So why is she there? So does she say that she's looking for Perrin?
I thought she said she was there. I'm now not remembering. Cass, do you remember why?
No, I thought she thought he was going to be there.
Yeah,
someone was going to be
there.
But I
also don't know why. Like now, I don't know why she needed to find him or needed to see him. I mean, because they
needed to get out of where they were because of the death of the guy.
And Maxim, he's like, why are we here? We need to go find Leandrin.
Yeah. So it's unclear.
Like he wanted to be.
Like, she's like, no. We need a rustic Airbnb. You need to get this out of your system. We need to just stay.
It's good for your humors. Think about your humors.
Yeah, it's good for the humors.
All right, so so Perrin's like, oh my god, they're looking out for me, and they run into Maxim and Alana, and then after that, the next scene is Elida like conniving and scheming in the tower, and she's working the Reds, and then she has this amazing scene where she's in the Red
in their common room.
Yeah, and there's like just all that like kind of intrigue and power struggles.
Tarvalon does not seem like a cool place to live. Like it's all just dark,
very dark
stones. a candle sconce every 20 yards.
You know, that is so funny because when it first came on, we were like, oh my God, the intricacies and light coming through and this and that. And the very first episode, first scene of it, we're like, and now we're like, that's like a castle.
Yeah, it's just like a
the throne room is beautiful, and even like Swan's quarters are spacious, right? And it feels like bright and dark. So many other places feel very dark.
Cloistered, yeah. Man being brought before the Amberlin, and she says that she's been seeing dead Aes Sedai, dead warders. She said the attack on the tower has yet to happen.
She's wearing her Nancy Pelosi outfit.
I'm so
She's
glad she
all
did
business, but there's party in the back if you look at the mullet.
Oh yeah, I am so glad she's back, that we see her again.
Okay, yeah, me too. That's great to hear. What do you think of her outfit, her look?
Well, she's blending in as a servant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is in disguise as a
spy.
As a servant. Okay, I like that.
And she right now is Sixth Sense. She's like, I see dead people.
Well, right, and because she mentioned that, and somebody's like, I thought you saw the future, not the past, and she's like, I do. So right, so the dead warders and Aes Sedai, they happened already, yes. But she's saying it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
The battle hasn't happened yet.
And I don't know what I feel about the new red lady who showed up with Queen Morgasm.
Oh, Elida, yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know about her.
Well, she's got plans, and she's definitely scheming, right? Scheming to get like the Reds in, scheming to like again. When we met her, she was standing right next to Morghese when she killed all those people, and she's her advisor. So she's got plans. Every time she's doing something, there's a plan behind it. So I do not trust her at all. Like at all. She's like she's a red Aes Sedai that has been living elsewhere and advising a queen for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, Elida is interesting. She has a respect, it seems, within the tower. When she walked in, well, I don't know. Do they respect her, actually?
They did mention that she still kind of has some of her either friends or alliances are still there. So she's got relationships of some sort. It didn't seem when she went into the Reds like quarters that she had respect, right? Mm-hmm. They like she was kind of trying to tell them, and they're like, we're good, we got this.
They're and like, then, okay, boomer.
They even like asked her to leave, so she doesn't have respect.
Half of them there were probably born after she left.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, she's been gone for at least 20 years, if not more.
That's a good point.
So I did notice, this is really weird, that I guess what's-her-face was born 20 years ago. Did they go check and see if she was going to be in they were looking at everyone who was born 20 years ago.
Right.
Why did they not look at her?
Yeah.
Because she happened to be at the right time frame too. So, okay.
Yeah, great question. Did we enjoy the battle between Gawain and Galad? The little training?
The girls did.
Yeah, everyone did. And that was pretty funny, right? Matt's all, we really need to be watching this? And Nynaeve is all, oh yeah.
Yeah, he says, Nynaeve, I didn't think you'd be up for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's all, isn't everyone up for this kind of stuff?
Yeah, this is exactly what we need right now.
And they had quite the audience there. They were showing their stuff. They each had their shirts off.
They clearly each succeeded in finding somebody to make noise on either side of Matt's room.
To make noise. Grace, you want to make noise later?
Entitled bastard.
Yeah, they're quite the hit, and they do end up hitting it quite nicely, loudly. Matt is stuck in the worst room in the whole palace.
He was trying to hit it with some people too. He's showing off his horn. I mean, the horn, maybe not his horn. Showing off the horn.
He wanted to show off his horn.
Yeah, he's like,
and he was less successful than the princes were.
He was down the clown for anything. He's like, oh, you brought a friend? A girl?
right? Yeah.
Guys? Okay. All right, fine.
During this, didn't Min show up to his room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And I
this is
forgot
where-
their history. Funny, I forgot their history, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, they know each other. Yeah,
And where she saw him being
told him the
hung.
dark one.
Yeah, but she had a vision of him.
Being
Yeah.
hung, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So was that
you're-
metaphoric?
No, you know what? If you think about it, when he was looking at himself, when he was on shrooms, one of the times he died, he was on. He had he hung.
Mhm.
He was hung.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
That's
I
Uh-oh.
don't know.
All right, so after the training ground scene, we have Elaine and Nynaeve were brought before the ambulance seat, and she basically tasks them with hunting down the Black Ops, saying these are the only two women in all of the White Tower that she can trust.
True.
Yep, that is true. And then they're her hounds, right? So she's getting them to pair up and look, which I think is pretty cool.
So I mean, how do you start that though? How does this detective agency begin then?
Well,
how
Baron's
does
going
a
to talk to him.
detective agent go if one of them is supposed to be leaving?
Well, she doesn't want to leave, right? This is a whole other reason why she it's not her plan at all to leave. So yeah, they're also not trusting anyone, right? They're in the same boat where it's like, okay, yeah, you would think we could trust Baron, but not so sure. Maybe we can't.
No, she names Baron specifically, like, not Baron, not this, not that.
Yeah.
The only people I trust is you and me, and that's
Yeah, so they're just kind of digging through what they know, right? Did they go to that whatever 13th conservatory, whatever? Did they go into the dungeons to? Oh no, they were looking. That's right, they were looking at all the things that were stolen
from the pictures.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like Baron was capturing, was tracking everything that was gone, and they were looking through that. So they were just kind of starting their own little investigation, going like every which way they could, and that's where they were starting to piece together some things.
It's interesting what was stolen and how are they going to find it by pictures, and we'll just see. I don't know.
This is when Mayor Nalvir explains to Perrin that he's been like, the White Cloaks are there looking for him. They think it's like he's a dark friend. And then Perrin says, well, I'll turn myself in because I did kill that guy.
Yeah, and they found out that that the White Cloaks took Matt's mom and sisters, right? And he said he was going to protect them, and they're like, he's going right into the trap, right? They kidnapped them so that Aaron would show up and try and rescue them. So he is going exactly along with the plan that the.
All right, and then we have some dream sequences. Egwene's getting choked out,
and then she ends up right. So this is just kind of, we've said she has all these dreams and these nightmares of what happened, but then she shows up like in the dream world of somewhere else, and then is talking to an older woman, like an older Aiel woman. So
and she said you don't belong here.
Yeah, and it looked like when she was in this dream world, and like we'd seen that before, and that's where Lanfear was, it looked like anyway, where Lanfear was with Rand when Rand was like on that wheel, and so it looked like the same place to me.
I thought it was the wasteland, but
it might have been. I was gonna say it might have been, but it still looked like the same place where that other dream took place, and where they can talk to other people in their dreams. And that woman's blonde, which I found interesting as well, because the Aiel are supposed to be redheads. And so I didn't know if it was just like her hair had, like she's older and so her hair color changed, or if she just has different hair color.
I thought it was white.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gingers usually go white.
So she's in this weird, able to now be in this dream. I can't remember what they call it something, Delan Riad or something, I don't know.
And then we have Rand with Lanfear and their love hut, and she's basically saying that she's, Team Rand all the way, like they're conspiring. But
and that was where it did seem like to me that, I mean, she was more Selene than Lanfear. in that
Yes.
instance, in that dream, right? She was like when they were living together in the inn, and like just and she seemed like a smitten girl as opposed to a forsaken.
And they keep just juxtaposing this dream with Rand and Egwene getting choked out, and here we even have the audio like overlapping. The implication being that she's somehow involved in both dreams. What do you guys think of this?
I think she's doing it. I don't know if it's going simultaneously, or we're just seeing that it looks like simultaneous,
Oh, that's a good point.
she was 3,000 years studying the dream walking, so I think she can do a lot more than we know.
Elaine trying on the crown of Andor.
Yeah, Gabriel walks in. He has some wine. He's like, "Hey, that crown looks cool on you. Let's drink."
Your crown just snapped.
Yeah.
There it is. There you go, Elaine.
See, if I were to walk by, I'd see a crown. I'd try it on too.
Heavy is the crown or whatever. Yeah. So she totally got caught. She totally got caught trying it on.
But we do hear that there is some issues going on with Andor. Yeah. Things are not as rosy as Morgase seems to let on, according to Gabriel.
Right, something's happening. But I do like, I mean, this is where then it also, we learn that, Elaine's a drinker. Like, she and Gabriel just like hang out and drink quite a bit. So we saw earlier that she could
hold it.
Last episode that she could like put it away. And she does once again.
Yeah, in fact, she had some homemade hooch last season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
she
right.
brought it with her.
Yeah. That's so funny. Forgot about that.
No, she made some with Aviana and then they boned.
Royal moonshine.
Matt gets called to the Amerlin's study.
It didn't take much convincing for him to leave the horn. She says, "Hey,
right?
Listen, this horn is you're pretty powerful now. You're the only one that can activate it. Everyone else is just a horn. But for you, it brings back heroes until you die. And people are going to try to kill you. So you should probably keep the horn here, right?" And he's like, yeah, take it from me. I don't even want it.
But is it true?
She was so funny. She's like, I mean, it would be weird if anyone wanted to draw pictures with it, or it would be weird if anyone wanted to show people it. It would be weird, like, and
you're like, I would never
try to get laid as the hornblower, wouldn't that be?
Right. But yeah, he did hand it over pretty easily, and I thought I was a little concerned with that. I was a little concerned that she was like, "Okay, thank you, I got it now," and I'm like, "This is."
She's putting it right in that 13th depository, huh?
Which we know is
foolproof safe.
Yeah, that no one can get except for the Black Aja.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously she can't lie, but the way she can tell the truth is different than it's interpreted. So I don't know if it was fully the truth that she was telling him.
Well, she didn't really have to do much to convince him to give it up either. She was just like, it's just, this is a pretty powerful thing, and people are gonna
want it.
Look, and they're gonna want it. So all of that was true, and he was like, "All right, here you go." So doesn't mean she didn't say she was gonna hold it and keep it safe and not use it for evil.
She did not say that.
Elaine, basically kind of like her having her coming of age moment where she stands up to Morgase and she says, "I'm not going back. I want to be an Aes Sedai." And Elaine is basically able to argue her way out of being drawn back to Andor, and she's allowed to stay.
No, I'm glad she got to stay. And then her brothers are going to train now too, right?
Yes, they are staying on to train as warders.
It seems like the concession is, though, now the boys are staying as well. So she's not there alone. Of the party, and in fact, Elida is staying there as well. So only Morgase and Gabriel are leaving.
Yeah, that's an Andor dump.
Yeah, they're going back to hey, we don't have the kids. You guys want to go to Puerto Rico? Let me ask you, ladies. So earlier, Rand had channeled when he blew up the mirrors. Egwene was like, "Rand, it's the mirrors," and then she's like, "Rand, let go," because he kept holding on, right? Here he is playing with the one power around his hand like a little snake, and it seems like Moiraine is just watching his hand. Are we to assume that this is visible to everyone?
I think it is, but it might just be because they show it, so I just but I've always felt like it is, and the different weaves or different colors and all that.
So everyone can see it just as it happens?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We could be wrong, but the way, if I can see it, they can see it.
So then we're back at the tower. Queen Margase is saying, "I'm out, everyone, and I'm leaving everyone behind. Like you got my boys, you got my girl, and now you got Elida, who is apparently not well loved." Margase is pointing out to her that she almost bested her to be the Emerald seat, and this was 20 years ago. So
it was 20 years ago today.
Fun little jab. Thanks.
Is that her traveling outfit? Like she wears that big old thing?
She needs her. Yeah, that's her riding collar.
It could be the mosquito net they have there.
Maybe.
It's for malaria.
All right, so then we're back. Then we're back to with Moraine and Rand, and they get accosted in a way by more Aiel, and we learn about, I guess, the Aiel's belief about Rand. We get a little prophecy of the blood, but not raised by the blood. She starts spewing some lines at him.
Now, isn't that the chick from the dream or no?
Yep. It is.
Okay, all right.
Because Egwene even says, "You were in my dream," and she's like, "No, you were in my dream."
Yeah, but I think she's gray.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they talk about him breaking the Aiel, and that's the end of the episode. What score do you give this episode, ladies?
8.
I was thinking the same thing. It was good. It progressed. I mean, I liked the opening. I liked Morgase. There was a lot, kind of that I liked, but and everyone's like in there, like separated, and each of the little stories is kind of progressing. But then that's a little less progression with each, right? Because now we're like following kind of 4 or 5 different stories.
I do believe
it's good establishing for I think where everyone's going next.
I do believe the person who selected the scenes for the visual shots, great pictures, great scenes, like them on the mountain with the background, and beautiful scenes, and the costume design on point.
So amazing.
All right. Hey, join us next episode as we break down episode 3 in season 3's of Amazon's The Wheel of Time. This has been the non-book reader reactions. Thank you for joining us. If you like this kind of content, hit the like and subscribe button. We will see you next episode. And as always, run for your lives. This is the way to leave.